Hey guys, what's up? All right, so promised you I was going to do a little educational piece today. I was going to do textures, flavors, settings, and how that affects your the food choices that you make and how much food you eat. But I decided to, with the holidays around the corner, to go with kind of something that a lot of people are dealing with, which is stress. All right. So I'm going to talk about how stress affects basically your metabolism and how it can lead to weight gain. All right. So what you guys need to know is your metabolism is like one big stress barometer. Okay. So its whole job is to look at things in the outside world and assess, what is stressful out there, how much stress is there, so that it can tell the body on the inside how to react to it, okay? And you can think of it like a boomerang or a thermostat, okay? So every time that there is any type of stress incurred, it's going to react, all right? And just like a thermostat, if you have like a set temperature inside a room and you heat it up with a bunch of people, the AC will kick on and cool it back down to where it wants to be, this homeostasis kind of point. And this metabolism is the same exact way, okay? You push on it and it's going to push back on you. You can also think of it like a boomerang, all right? So anytime you throw, the harder you throw a boomerang, the harder it's going to come back on you, okay? So again, it's that sort of, you push on something, it will fight you back, and that is how your metabolism responds. Now, here's what confuses most people, is the number one historical ancestral stress that we had was what? It was starvation, all right? So anytime you incur any type of stress in your life, whether it be traffic or a deadline or an argument with a family or friend or over-exercising or under-eating, or you have financial stress, or you're sleep deprived, all right? So your body actually recognizes this as just one thing. It doesn't know, the difference between traffic and starvation. It really doesn't. And that's what we have to understand. So it's going to respond in a way that thinks that you are starving, all right? It's just how we've adapted. And it's crazy to think like that, because I know that we're like, just technologically, we're so much further than that, but yet our bodies, that's just the way that it's been adapted, all right? And our bodies aren't, as smart as, it is, but it's not, it doesn't know the difference, okay? So you put some type of stress on your body, whether it be any one of those things, it's going to fight you back, thinking that you are actually literally starving, okay? And so what happens when it thinks it's starving? Like, how would it protect itself? You can just think, okay, well, if I was actually starving, it would want to make me hungrier so I can get more calories. It would make me not want to move as much so I can keep the energy reserves that I have. It's going to decrease my motivation to move. It's going to increase my cravings, and specifically for highly palatable foods that taste good, the sugary, salty type of foods. And it's going to give me unstable mood because my energy isn't very, because I don't have any calories coming in, so I'm going to have energy fluctuations. And then also the stress is going to raise my cortisol levels, making it very difficult for my muscles to get the nutrients. So it basically decreases your insulin sensitivity, all right? Which basically means that the nutrients, your muscles can't get, or the nutrients don't have access to your muscles. It's like a lock, right? And when you're sensitive, it'll actually go in. But if you're resistant, just like if you had high cortisol levels, then it's going to be like a locked door. It's not going to be able to go in. And so if it can't go into the muscles, then it's going to get stored in your liver, right? And typically as belly fat when it's related to stress, okay? Because that is where, in times of starvation, that's where it would pull energy from first. So, and so all of those things, all of those symptoms, increased hunger, decreased energy, decreased motivation, increased cravings, and decreased sensitivity, that leads to either your inability to lose weight, so a plateau, or you actually gain weight. And this happened to me. It certainly happened to me this past year when I was going through the CrossFit Open, and I was training like crazy, right? My typical overtraining, lots of 5-6 hours a day, and I apparently was stressed. I was used to it, but I think I had put my body through so much stress through the bodybuilding prep and all the years of training that it basically just said that was enough. And I started to gain weight. I think I gained like 10 or 15 pounds within 2 months, and I wasn't overeating by any means. I was barely actually eating compared to what everybody else is, and I ended up putting on all this weight. So it is very, very accurate that you can stress your way into insulin resistance, or you can stress your way into being overweight. All right, and this is how important it is. And so this is why I want to just kind of talk about it, because I'm getting a lot of people who come up to me and they say, Nat, I'm exercising like crazy, I'm eating all the right things, but I'm still not seeing results. What the fuck, right? And anytime I run into that situation where, so they are getting some movement in, they are moving around, and they do have the right amount of calories. It's not too much. It's not too little, right? It's in just the right amount for a small deficit. Then I look towards, if that's not doing it, then it is obviously, I guarantee you, it is a result of stress. And whether you think you're stressed out or not, doesn't really matter, okay? As we age, we can't handle as much stress because our hormones go down, and it doesn't allow us, we kind of like start to lose our shield. We can't handle as much. And so it's going to have a bigger impact on your ability to lose weight, okay? So, and so anytime I say, okay, well, it's because your body's just too stressed out, we need to take a more mindful living approach, all right? And this is why I highly believe that basically stress management or mindful living practices is the most important piece out of any diet plan, okay? Most people aren't talking about this, but the thing is, if you're stressed out, I don't care how much you're training or how great your diet is, you're not going to be able to lose the weight. So you need to make sure that you have that under control so that you can actually see progress when we add in training or reduce calories. Okay, it gives you the ability to lose weight. So this has got to be number one. How do we do that? Through mindfulness activities, stuff like slow leisurely walking. That is like the best thing that you can do to not only lower cortisol levels, but it'll also increase your insulin sensitivity, allowing you to get the nutrients to your muscles. Okay. And I mean slow walking. I don't mean like frickin' fast-paced walking or jogging, because once you spike your heart rate up beyond a certain point, your body starts producing cortisol, okay? So it is very important that it is a very relaxing feeling, and walking is the best out of them all because it does improve your insulin sensitivity, okay? Other things that you can do is just anything that gives you that sort of awe experience. So stuff like sleeping in, making sure you're getting enough sleep, taking naps, hot cold therapy, so like hot cold contrast baths, massage, sex is a great one, relaxing music, any type of spa treatment, any of those kind of things that make you go like that. That is, we want to seek out more of those types of things. All right, so it's tough because I think that as CrossFitters, we tend to be very hard-headed and tough-minded and push harder. And I never thought I would actually ever be saying this, but it's just, I finally realized that is not the best approach, especially when it comes to weight loss. You need to you got to start thinking of like walking more than exercising, sleeping in versus going in and hitting your intervals. And everybody's going to be different, like everybody's going to be different as far as how resilient they are to stress. Typically, younger people can handle a lot more stress. Typically, guys are a little bit more resilient than women. And it just depends also on your genetic nature. I have done loads and loads of training, so I'm a pretty resilient, just from all the, my body's just adapted to all the training stress. And so, athletes are typically a little bit more resilient than people who aren't training all the time. But the way that if you are too stressed out or not is when you are actually eating right, exercising right, not too much and not too little, and you're still not losing weight. That's when you know that it is stress related. Okay, so I was gonna I guess I'll go over like a client case of mine. I had this lady for about a little over a year, and her whole goal from the beginning was to lose about 20 pounds. And we tried everything. No matter what we tried, we couldn't like get her weight to budge. It would go up maybe a pound or two and come back down. But we never really made any serious progress and we tried like vegan, keto, low carb, high carb, traditional strength training, walking. We tried it all, and it just, she would not budge. And then she happens to go on vacation and comes back, and she's 7 pounds lighter and lost a bunch of body fat. And you think that she would have been happy about it all, but she actually was bursting into tears in my office because she was just so confused about, like, I don't understand. I worked so hard and nothing happens, and then I go on vacation, eat what I want, and sleep in, and I come back and I lose all this weight. And it was like a light bulb that went off in my head. And basically her metabolism needed a vacation. All right. And this is super, super common. You know who you are if this is happening to you. And we just had to do things like more walking, more mindful activities, less stuff that was spiking her cortisol levels, less things that made her life stressful. Whether you want to do it or not, your metabolism doesn't really care. So if you want to see results, you have to take those kind of actions if you want to see progress. So that's about it, guys. I want to keep these pretty short. I was going to do maybe like a 1-minute video and a 5-minute video, and then something like 10 minutes, 15-minute video per week, because I know like we're all busy and I value your time, and but I do want to make sure that like I am sharing my knowledge with you guys, and hopefully it gives you a better understanding of why I tell you to do the things that you should be doing, so we can see progress. So that's about it, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback and maybe what else you want me to cover for the next time. All right, Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you later.